Okay, good afternoon all. Happy Friday. Oh, I can't believe how quick these weeks go. They just fly by. It won't be long before Christmas again. So Karina, good morning to you. Exponential, how you doing? S, good morning. John, good morning. Ionis, good morning. Russell, how you doing? Okay, so I had another $500, which sets my March up. I don't think I'll get any more today. Depends. A couple of more trades, and there'll be half a dozen of them available. But what I'm going to do next month is April. Is just let them run. If you're taking multiple bits from each one throughout the month, you got to write down the days to keep track of that you've traded 8 days and make sure you've traded enough profit. But I think over a month, you're definitely going to have traded 8 days, and 5 of them should be profitable. So I think it's probably going to be easier. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So I just took a really nice trade actually a while ago on just that one account. It was on the 1,000 tick chart. Clearly see prices rejected strongly off here, and there was a really nice second entry short. It was nice and wide. What I like about it is that one didn't get stopped out, which is also, you know, always encouraging. There's probably shorts here. I like the fact that it triggered it and it worked beautifully. But I really like that one. I was looking at this in the 2,000 tick chart, and the 2,000 tick chart took off, which tells me there's likely going to be buyers there, and that pushed that up strong. So it turned into a good trade, that did. Let's have a look. Ooh. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What time of day is it for you, Karina? You're 2:30, are you? Where are you, Karina? Where are you? I thought you were US based. Are you actually in Spain, are you? I suppose you must be if you're an hour ahead. You must be. Oh, I thought you were over in the US. I knew you were Spanish, but I thought you were over in the US. Apparently not. So leg at a leg. Is this going down? Maybe. I can't trade at the moment anyway. Not for another... not for another minute or so, I think. So news, we've got some. Okay, we got some at 2 o'clock. Some medium impact news, so it's worth keeping an eye on that. It's quiet at the moment. You're in Spain now. With me, you never know. Spain. So you're not a million miles away from me then. You're not a million miles. I've never actually been to mainland Spain. I've been to Mallorca, which is, it's the Balearics, isn't it? I think it's still considered one of the Spanish islands, isn't it? Jay, how you doing, buddy? So there was a failure here. Are there going to be many buyers in there? Doubtful, but it did work. Did it look better on any of my live charts? Not really, no. So I can trade in a second. Let me just see this. Lights up beautiful. So let me just check.
Order submitted.
Working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. One of them I'm waiting on that payout. And the other one, I've already had 750 on that one. So I'm going to leave that one alone today. So everything's working like it should. Let me just check the buy down here.
Order submitted.
Excellent. I do like this.
Order
the only slight hiccup I had yesterday was when I was drawing a channel down there. I clipped that and opened it. But if you just hover back over close, it does sort itself out. So second entry long there. I wouldn't be taking that. Triggered, come down. Nothing you can really do down here, isn't there? Ben, how you doing, bud? So see how we get on today. But yeah, it's been a great month. $11,000. I thought it may be a lot longer for me to hit amounts like that. Now it is only early days. I'm not going to get overconfident, but you know, you know, it's still good to be pleased with yourself when things do start to work. You know, I can clearly say it's not, I'm not getting loads of luck. I'm just, my patience is working, my discipline's working. I'm not revenge trading. So I think really once those things kind of work in harmony, things should start to work. Well, we know they'll work. But when things go wrong, that's when we find it difficult, and we try and overcompensate by doing stupid things, and that's when, as we know, that's when things just don't work. So, part of me says no, but I think it's always good to have that layer of protection just in case. Now, I'm making consistent money, but it's still very early days, so I'm not going to be cocky or confident and think, no, I don't need it, let's get rid of it. I've got it, I own it, I purchased it, so I might as well take advantage of it just in case the worst happens. You never know. I get a bad loss, something goes wrong, or you just never know, do you? And you have no choices. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely better, I think. Sean, how you doing, buddy? How do you get your account data box up when you execute a trade? It's not working for me at the moment for some reason. You're on about this here. It's just not working. I don't know why. I can't get it to work anywhere at the moment. Now, I seem to remember having a problem like this maybe a year or so ago. Something wasn't working, and I contacted NinjaTrader, and they said, go into this folder, delete that file, restart it, and everything worked. Now, obviously, because this isn't sort of online based, it's a program. Things can go wrong, files can get corrupt. I mean, I'm no computer wizard, but I know enough. So I think sometimes it kind of needs updating or rebooting or resetting or whatever the case may be. And I did that. Everything was fine. I had still had all my add-ons. Nothing changed, but obviously the problem resolved. So it might be an idea. I'm going to do that actually, maybe later. But if you download, I downloaded it. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to have a play around with it later. In fact, it's in here somewhere. If you download Jan's toolbar, let me have a look. I downloaded it. He sent me he made a comment yesterday. It's in here somewhere. There it is, right at the top. There you go. Tools there. So there it is there. I'm going to have a play around with it. I don't like anything new on my chart until I can have a play around with it. But apparently he's got something in here which plots your entries and exits somewhere. Can't see off the top of my head. No, the one you have currently screen top right corner. Hold on a second. Let's just remove that a minute, and I'm going to play around with that later. Who did again? What have I missed? Account data. You all about? Oh, sorry, mate. Here. Okay. So that's a good question. I've had it there for so long, I've forgotten. That's a good question. Let me have a look. Okay. I think if I bring this over a minute, I think if I click on, what is that, account data, isn't it? If I click on, say, let's click on log. If I right click, duplicate in new window. No. I can't think, mate. It's my orders and positions, isn't it? Orders. Have a look. Duplicate a new window. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So, orders. Yeah. So what you do, there it is there. Is that orders? Yeah, orders. There's a load of stuff in it. But yeah, what you do is, I'll shut that down now, is just right click on it, duplicate in new window, and that'll drop a window open, one of these there. And same with positions. Where's my positions? I haven't got a positions on here. So if I add a positions, right click it, duplicate. Is that right? Yeah, there it is there. And then you can resize it. So yeah, just right click and duplicate in window. It's good because sometimes, although rhythmic, the orders are closing rhythmic, sometimes they still show up there. Now, I don't think it's a major problem, but it's nice to know they're there just in case. So all I do then is just disconnect and reconnect, and it clears them. But the important part is to have this there rhythmic positions, because you want to see when the tray closes down that you haven't got any live positions. Now, obviously, as you know, you probably know, when that goes live, that turns red. So you just got to make sure these are all grayed out. That says you've definitely got no trays alive with rhythmic, and that's the important thing. Rhythmic, it doesn't matter what's here, but if you do see any here, next time I see one here, it's quite often they're there. I don't quite know why they sit there when everything's closed, but I just literally go into my connections, disconnect and reconnect, and that flushes them out. So at the moment, it's just ranging, I think. We look like we are somewhere along those lines. That there. Yeah, looking at that trade I took there, I like that. That was wide enough apart. You're quite likely going to trap a few shorts there. So for me, that was going on. It worked beautifully. And this is here. That's the trouble sometimes. Sometimes you get a pullback, but you'll get no entry. Now, there is a second entry short there, but the bar's naff. You know, it just doesn't give us anything. But on here, it's a lot clearer. Now, what I like about it is it broke below there and took out that early position. So we had a little channel. Let's do it like this. We had a little channel with a break and a matching low. Did it take that out? It didn't actually. It held. That's interesting. That makes it probably even a little bit more stronger. So we clearly had two little legs back. Probably going to get some shorts in there. But it worked lovely. I mean, that thing, you know, just that first bar when you got in went up, you know, the best part of 3 3/4 points. So, you know, plenty there. But we didn't get that. There's just nothing here, see, so that's, I think it's useful to have that. It can. Trouble is when you got, it's not that one. Is it that one? What the hell? How many chances have I got here? Yeah, that's it there. Yeah, it's useful just to have that little bit more detail. Sometimes it gives you a trade when there isn't one available. How many chances have I got up? 4. Why 3? Why is it showing 4? That one. The hell's that one from? An extra chart up there which I didn't know about. 3, that's better. Plus those 2, plus my control. Yeah, good. Okay. Let's have a look. Tim, very impressed how generous you are, lads, helping people during market open. You trade the gods, come a smile on you. Thank you, mate. We're you know, we all got to start somewhere, haven't we? We're all, you know, we're all finding new, you know, new things, and you know, we've all got to learn new stuff. So, you know me, I'll happy talk trade. It's an interest of mine. You know, it's not just what I do for, you know, to make some money. It's an interest. So I'm quite happy to, you know, I had many sleepless nights when I was learning and not knowing where things were. So it's, you know, you should help other people, shouldn't you? Let me have a look at, are you getting more payouts on pre-market trades? No. The only pre-market ones I've been taking is that one new account I had. I probably shouldn't do it. And I've done it in the past and lost the odd one. But what I was doing is trading the open. It's a lot, the bars are a lot bigger, and I find sometimes it shows you one thing and does the other, but I found the risks were much bigger. Whereas this one, you know, I took a genuine trade, which worked lovely for the leg. But I don't kind of think I should do it really, unless I am taking genuine trades. But up until recently, I was taking riskier ones just to try and give the account a boost. And we all know it, you know, it doesn't really work. So, what's your lad? Have you made any statistics on how much you earn while streaming versus pre-market? I just answered that question. Most of the time, I end up blowing the ordered account. No, I only ever, all of my accounts. If you look at all of my accounts, I can't trade them. Well, 19 out of my accounts, you can see if you look back at the video, these are all grayed out, and I can't trade any of my accounts till 2 minutes after the New York kind of official open. The other one, because it was a newer account and I've only been trading it for 3 or 4 days, I hadn't locked that away with the rest of my accounts. But now it's up, well, it's up to $1,700 over the last 3 or 4 days. I'm going to lock that away from Monday. So you know what it's like sometimes, don't you? You sit here and you kind of see a trade, but no. Most of the stuff that I've done out of hours have been super risky, but I just don't come back and trade now. When I'm done with you guys, I'm done. It's the best way for me. It makes sense. So yeah, pre-market I'm not a fan of, because 1, bars are usually bigger, 2, it's so much slower, and I like to get in and out of a trade. I like to have a, you know, you see how many times I sit here and moan about how slow things are. Pre-market, it's at 50% speed. So I think you're always, when the general market opens, I think that's the best time to trade. Yes, I can. Yeah, let me just swing my where do I swing my camera around? Okay, let me just check I'm going in the right direction. No. So these two, you can see these two here. These are my 2 older monitors. They're just 24-inch HD, 24-inch HD HP monitors, and the 2 new monitors I've got, if this thing will go around again. Yes, as you can see there, they're 2 curved 34-inch, might go up a bit, 34-inch, yeah, curved monitors. They're Kurai or something, K-O-O-R-U-Y. So yeah, so on the top one, you can't really see. Let me see if I can spin this around. Probably can't really. Oh, maybe I can. So I've got these 2 here. So I've got my second 2000 tick chart there, my 1000 tick chart there, and this is just YouTube with all the comments. So that's that one. And if we go down to the bottom one of the 2, that is just a full chart. Will that go around? Yeah, you can see that is just the 2000 tick chart completely stretched out. And on the other 2 there, let me just get this to go up a bit. Those 2, the older monitors, I've just got OBS on the top. I've got the Discord here, and here is just a bunch of different things. Replicanto, the main, you know, NinjaTrader sort of, you know, tools, Workspace, and all that sort of stuff, and that's more or less it, really. But it's definitely nicer with these bigger screens. You can kind of stretch stuff out a little bit. Now let's get back to the most important bit. So there you go. There you go. Did you give up on Bookmap? Bookmap, yeah. You know, I've sat in front of Bookmap a bunch of times and tried to figure out how it would help me. Now I'm pretty sure when you know how to use it properly, it probably will. But if I could use it properly, then I may have it on the screen. But I don't think I can really, and I'm not sure whether it's best suited to people who swing trade a little bit more, rather than, this is interesting, push down a little bit of sideways. There's a second entry short here. That's tempting. Let's see if
Order
this works.
submitted.
It's quite large. I'll try and get on a limit order if it triggers.
Order
Okay.
submitted.
I'm in a trade there. It's kind of a failure. It's trapped that bull bar there. And we haven't come down to the bottom, so I don't mind that actually. It is a second entry short. It is right at the key entry point, and we are trapping that bull bar there, so I don't think that's a bad trade. I don't like that bounce. That'd be frustrating, missing it by a tick. Missed it by a tick. That's frustrating. We'll see. This is going to get me. I'm surprised, actually. I thought that was actually really nice. Sometimes you've just got to leave it. I think that'll be okay.
Order filled.
Okay. I thought that was really nice, actually. It's nice and tight there. A lower high, even better. In fact, when that lower high happened, I was very tempted to drag that down. Can you see there? There's two positions showing open. Can you see that? For some reason, it does that. I don't know why. And if you look on my Replicanto, those two have turned yellow. Now, I don't know why it does that, but what I do know, there's no positions live. You can clearly see here, there's nothing live. So if I just, let me have a look. I don't know why it does it. If I just disconnect and then reconnect, it says there's two positions, but I know there isn't because Rhythmic, I've spoken to people about this before. I don't know why it does it. So if I reconnect, I was tempted to move that down a little bit because when we had that lower high, but sometimes, you know, you may lose your nerve and get out of there, but if the position's okay, a lot of times it can come back, but then it does work down and it kind of did what it was supposed to. But you'll see this. So you can see those have gone now. No, I don't know why it does that, but it does from time to time. So just disconnect. Have a look. So that's the issue. So when they close, it triggers an open on Rhythmic. It does if you right click it and click close orders or cancel orders, but you can see there's my live Rhythmic accounts. There's nothing live, there's nothing moving, and there's nothing live here. So all you got to do, yeah, they're called ghost orders, but I think if you go in and right click and flatten all or close them, I think that's what it does. But I haven't done that. All I did was disconnect and reconnect. But you can see there's nothing live in Rhythmic. There's nothing live here. And all these, you can see the profits in all of them. They're all there. No change, no issues. So when that happens, it's important that your positions are all grayed out, which means they've closed. Just all you got to do is just connect, just disconnect and then reconnect, and you're good to go. Yeah, on the Ninja Trader balance is changing. It's not. It's 150. They're all 150. They're all 150. Taking away $4 in commissions, they're all 146, with the exception of one was a little bit larger. So it's fine. I'd have come across that before, otherwise, if that would have caused me problems. They're called ghost orders. So you close. Yeah, but you can tell they haven't changed because we're a lot further down when we were. But these are all exactly where everything closed. Exactly the same as this. Obviously, this isn't showing commissions. This is. But I got out here. Look how much further we came straight down. So they would grow or the opposite way. Just disconnect. Don't right click and click cancel or flatten. I think it's flatten everything here. Don't do that, because that's where you get the ghost orders. So always have this. So we've got news coming up. Always have your positions tab right at your eye line and make sure all these are closed, because that's important. Rhythmic. And then if you've got any positions here, just disconnect, reconnect. But even when I disconnected and reconnect, it took maybe 20 seconds while I was telling you, but none of this has changed. So don't right click, don't flatten, don't do nothing, just disconnect. Usually it's only one or two, not all of them. Same advice for the Apex. Yeah, can't comment so much on that because I don't use it. I used the old one a few years ago. But yeah, so I can't really comment on that. You have both. Now, I don't want to comment on the Apex one because they did update it, but what I will say is since I started using Replicanto, it hasn't given me any headaches at all. And that's what I like. We know trading's stressful enough. And the last thing you want to do is have a piece of software that's frying your brain. So I'm happy. I wonder if anybody else took that. Any of you guys take that at all? As long as you disconnect and reconnect like you did Apex, reacts the same from my experience. Yeah, I said before, but there is some settings on Replicanto. You did mention that, yeah. It's nice to have turned on. You may have to talk us through that. I don't even know how to get it. Is it a 10-second job, Jan, or is it something that takes a minute? Might be an idea, mate. If you get a bit of time over the weekend, just jot a message to me how to do it, and I'll have a look. But it's only really ever one or two, usually about two sometimes, and sometimes they're sat in the orders, sometimes they're sat in the positions. But if you look at your profit on everything, it's all stable, exactly, with the exception of that one. That's a sim. I was messing around with something. The only difference is the one, there's an extra tick there. But they all, you know, if they hadn't closed properly, by the time I shut them, those would be different, and they're not. I've almost like trace. Just right click on Replicanto and see the options. So is it properties or something? Yeah, is it? So just right click there. What am I looking at? Properties. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got some news coming up in a minute. So it's only medium impact, but I'm only trading 4 PAs. Yeah. So in fact, you, Russ, you said ATM. I have got that on. I wasn't even aware I had to do that. I know it's just always worked. I've been using it for a year and a half, and I've never had any issues with it. Yeah, properties. So let's size this up a little bit. So, oh. What have I got to do, mate? Do you know? It's it. So, yeah, fail-safe options. Fail-safe options. Is that down the bottom, is it? Start from the top. Can't see anything there, mate. Oh, there is a bit more down the bottom, isn't there? Those in the middle. So some of these. Somewhere around about here, then, is it? It's any wider. News is here now, anyway. So, okay. So flatten, follow the vent. If it's something around these, I'm on it. Have a read about them. Yeah, I will. I'll have a good play around with them later. I'll go on the website as well. You don't. The trouble is, all I tend to use is obviously my instrument, my lead account, exact quantity, and all I've ever done is just select the ones I've wanted. I did that from day one, and it's worked. See these ATM things, they're not even selected, so I'm just not aware of them, really, to be fair. I thought it was relatively straightforward. You just select the accounts that copies. Fail-safe options, I will have a look at that, yeah. Now this, to me, looks like we are... Yeah, it does. That you, yeah, there's no Sean. There's your orders tab, so that we can... How did you set your orders tab so that you can open the accounts it's listed? And you close the orders, the accounts disappeared. On mine, the accounts still say stay on all the time. Let's have a look. Was it the positions or orders? Accounts disappear. There is a second entry there. My only slight concern is if we're ranging, we've had a break out of it, so it could go like that. So I'm going to sit out of this. Will it work? Probably. It's just something about this I'm not overly keen on. It's a little bit further away from that EMA. And as we've broken out of this, I don't necessarily want to go short. What I will say is we have tested it, so that's going for it. But I don't have to think now. Something just doesn't feel right. We've had a little leg up there with the break. No new high yet. So we may have another retest. So I think that bar is a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, I hope no one got caught out in that. I've seen stuff like that before. That picture is filling me full of dread. Sometimes it's hard to sort of think exactly why. Now, it is testing this here, but for me, I'd like to test a little bit higher. That, to me, is too far from that EMA, really. We need a good push up and then a drop back. Put But it is more complex than you think, so a lot of stuff can go wrong. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, you know what they say, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. So everything works for me fine. I was very close to getting into that then. Triple test. And it worked as well. Trouble is, when I've taken a trade, I very rarely take another one. I'm not, because I don't take a lot of trades anyway, I'm more than happy with one. Because what I hate worse than straightforward loss is a loss after you've already won something. I'll come to you again in a section. Don't worry, mate. We got a triple test there. See, it clearly went for yeah, it would have made me comfortably 3 odd points. It's not pushing down. I got to say, that looks really nice. It's not pushing down, nowhere near as strong as I thought it might do. But it is still early days yet. Trouble is, we've got a push up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, could still go up. I'm just sitting tight out of this anyway. Let's sort Sean out. Read your message again. Sure. It is working. Tim, I'm the same way. After watching these things move for thousands of hours, my instinct tells me no, and I listen to it. Absolutely. That little voice inside comes from experience, and it really, what's the word I kind of use for it? It's that little sort of protection thing in there. I don't really even bother counting anymore. Is it a second entry? It's about how it looks for me. It is. I mean, to be honest with you, now it's sort of panning out. 1, 2, 3. It is nice, and I think Mark will take that. I think Dan will take that. I think Mac would definitely mark it. Clearly a triple test, and it's 2 legs up as well. So it's a leg, and that second bit is broken into 2. So you would expect that to work. The trouble is, because I don't take a trade every day, when I do take a trade, I kind of like to leave it at that. Because there's nothing worse than making money and then straight away losing it. So, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Matt just uploaded a live trade. Let's watch it, dear. Okay. Let's watch it. I'll have it. Don't worry, Sean. I haven't forgotten you, mate. Yes.
Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com.
This isn't from today, is it?
And I was hoping to demonstrate a trade here, but it didn't... we didn't get a good enough signal bar. I wasn't happy with that signal bar, but we got a higher low here. Notice
you
that
guys hear that?
I talked about this in the mid-morning report that this would probably fail, even if only momentarily. And of course it did. And we're back in the range now. And we had this trend working down. Notice we had a close outside and a couple of legs down. Then we made a higher low here, but that signal bar just wasn't good enough. But we might get another type something else here set up. Chance to go long or short here. Prices could still go either way right here, so it'd have to be a pretty good setup that clarifies which way prices are going next. So, but you can see we were working down, had the close outside and a couple of legs to a new low, and then we had this higher low right here. But again, that signal bar just doesn't quite, let me zoom in there a little bit. That signal bar doesn't quite qualify. And trade would have worked, but I didn't take it because it doesn't meet our entry criteria. So we'll sit here and we'll wait on something else and see if we get another opportunity.
He's looking for a short here somewhere.
Let's see if we possibly I don't know if this is going to be it's possible there could be a trend setting up here going higher, but it might have been more a shorter term one here, like so. But even on that one, we don't have a, oops. Sometimes those things are so, get so tight you can't ever get them back again. So we'll just start new here. So maybe more like that, and we may make a new high and turn back down. We may not even make a new high. I mean, the odds are we may still be headed to the lower side of the range here. And it could be that the lows are really down here now. But until we get more evidence of that, you can still see where when we broke lower below the overnight lows, we came back and tested that. We tested it from both sides. So as of now, I'm going to leave it like that. And we'll see if we get some kind of, we may need to adjust it later, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. But anyway, there's not much else I can say about this, but I'm going to pause it and we'll let the price action play out. And if something comes back and setting up, I'll come back on and we'll restart the video. But I'll pause it for now and we'll see if something sets up. Okay, prices have turned back down here. There was a second entry short here, but it's not a very good setup. But we might, prices could bounce here. We might could get a triple test and go higher again. We'll see if that sets up. But I was going to show you this. We're working up. You get a first entry, and then you get that little 2-bar matching high. So that's prices didn't go lower, and when they broke below there, you could technically that's a form of a second entry, but you definitely got a higher low here. Again, you didn't get a higher high, but you still get a higher low. So you could count that as a second entry.
I'm going to leave
again,
this
this
a minute.
double
It's on for
bar
about
matching low is
another
technically where the second entry
7 minutes.
occurred,
So I'm just going to take a quick
it doesn't set up
break,
very
make a cup
well.
of tea, and I'll be back. I'll leave you to this.
But I'm going to pause this and we'll see if we get a setup. Okay, we did push lower and pull back here, but I don't see any setup that I don't think you're going to count that as a triple test. So you do have a first entry here. If we were to leave this 2-bar matching high and then try to push lower, and maybe, especially if you could get like a tick lower and then it turn up and go past there, that would be a second entry long. But right now we just have a first entry. Something like that coming down there. It looks like this was not accurate. So let's see what we get here. Still nothing very interesting, really. Nothing but it can change quickly, so we may suddenly get a setup here. But I'll just pause it and we'll wait and we'll see. And that's the key to it. You got to be patient. You got to wait on the setup, and you got to have a good one, and you got to follow the rules. And as of now, I see nothing that that looks worth taking at this point. So we'll sit tight. Okay, I've kind of reevaluated this here. Even though you got a trend down here, this is more sideways stuff. You can see the congestion there, and we did get the breakout, and it did take off. No setup here. Technically, there's a second entry long right there. Notice you're working down, and then first entry. And if this would have broke lower and then given you a second entry, maybe, but that looks a little sideways, so I wasn't crazy about it. We'll see if we get some kind of setup here. We're definitely trending higher again now. It looks like for a little bit we were just kind of testing both sides of the middle of this original range. So we might even get a second entry long here. We'll see. We could just make a new high and this will play out, and we may come back here again. But I'll pause it and we'll wait till something sets up. I don't see anything here I'm willing to trade yet, so we'll just we'll pause it and we'll come back and look at it. But you can, I did want to show you where I just kind of reevaluated how this was playing down here. This looks like more sideways stuff. And here we go. We could get a second entry long here. But I'll pause it. If it sets up, we'll come back and we'll see if we can play it. Okay, we did have a second entry here. I missed it. I'm going to put a limit on it, and I got filled after all. So you saw I missed that, but I put my limit order in there. It's a second entry long.
Yeah, I left that one. It looked a bit tight. It was yesterday.
When it triggered above that, notice the new high, first entry, second. It's basically 2 legs back to the EMA. We're looking for prices to retest this high. A lot of second chances to get in this one if you wanted to get in it.
Target filled.
Okay, now we're out.
Well,
no runner there. I have my stop set to move to break even +1. So, but anyway, that was a quick $750 minus commissions. And so there's you another live trade. And all we did was take a second entry long. And you'll see here, this thing could take off and play out. And, you know, so there's different ways that you can manage your runner.
Oh, sorry.
I might should have given that one a little more room, but I didn't because I'm just trying to demonstrate you the most conservative way to do this to make sure you don't lose money and that you're going to make money.
Yeah. Trouble is, how many times does it go up, take your 4 ticks, come back and take your stop?
I went in with 20 contracts.
I don't even know why.
Scalped out
half the time
on 15 of them, and I had 5 as a runner, and I got 5 ticks on the 5 runners because I got out at break even +1.
5 contracts on each
so
runner, isn't it?
That's what you're looking at. Again, it's about $750 minus a little more than that actually. I think it because I got the 5 ticks, $50 something dollars. So basically that just pays for the commission on those 5 plus a couple of dollars a piece for them. It's not much money, but you still make money on those 5. You don't lose any money by doing break even +1. And what that does, that allows you to, if one just takes off, that allows you to catch the really big runner. And if it doesn't take off and it chops around like this and there's a chance you might get stopped out, it keeps you from losing money. So you can see here that, I mean, there's a chance that this looks like it wants to turn down. I think it was probably still going higher, but they're definitely trying to run the stops on it. Maybe just sideways stuff. We could just be, here's the other thing. I didn't show the measured move, and you can see we're right at the measured move. So that would have been a logical, actually this probably needs to be moved down here just a little to these lows like so. I think that's more realistic, and now look at it how it matches up there. So that was another reason you probably want to consider break even +1 there, but we may still go higher here yet. But anyway,
all right,
there's another quick
I think
trade.
You've seen most
of
of it now,
I just had to be patient and wait on the setup. I finally got
it. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries. No worries. What is going here? Yeah, it didn't look fantastic on here, that triple test. But my other 2000 tick chart, it did. 1, 2, 3, and it worked really nice. Trouble is, when you've taken a trade like me, I'm sort of super cautious then. But look, plenty of. At some point, see, I'll start taking a second one if I see him. As you know, when my accounts build and the confidence grows, and I, you know, make consistent money, there's a time where I will start, you know, maybe holding a little bit, or you know, something like that. So, well, this is interesting, isn't it? So if we look on that daily, we are definitely heading for, yeah, I mean, look at that. Where's that going now? Yesterday, it filled that gap, turned up, pushed up strong, and all of a sudden, look so far. So, you know, buying there off that bottom, that's likely going to get stopped out. Now, whether it does it in one foul swoop, who knows? But there's liquidity there, isn't there? So perhaps it is going down and retesting this. It seems to kind of make sense, doesn't it? So this thing is quite bearish now, isn't it? Let me have a look. So yeah, it's down 60 points relatively quickly. This thing is heading down to take out that liquidity, isn't it? As Trump says something about, you'd think so, wouldn't you? To be honest with you, if you look at that daily, it just looks like it's only going one way now. So whether this just, I mean, look at this. You know, we had that massive move down, and then we had the two legs up, big move down. We fill the gap perfectly to the tick, instantly reverse, and then it's coming down. So we got liquidity down there. So if I saw a trade here, now if this was, you know, 2000 tick chart, I would be adamant that would be getting stopped out. And if I could get in here, maybe for a risky trade, that's where I'd have my stop. So to me, I'll be stunned if that doesn't get taken out. It's about 20 points, give or take, 18 points maybe, to get below there. So I'll be surprised if this comes down, two legs up. Now, whether it comes straight down or whether it pulls back a little bit, but to me, just purely from a price action point of view, channel down with a break, two attempts to push up, and then down to a new low, whether it's down, pull back, you know, two legs, or whether it's straight down. But this is super vulnerable to me, so I can see this going down, you know, from where it currently is at the moment, another 20 odd points. Whether it happens today or whatever, but that, you'd have to say that's where that will be going in you know, bare minimum, whether it comes down any lower. So that might be why this thing is just taking a trip down relatively quickly. That's my take anyway. I've been known to be full of shit sometimes, so I take it with a pinch of salt. But you know, the way this thing's coming down, it's not holding any prisoners, is it? It just seems to be taking a drop. Yeah, so Dan did take that. I had a feeling he might do. I think it was a nice trade, actually. I think it was a really nice trade. The more I look at it, 1, 2, 3, clearly triple test. you've got a higher low there and you've got a failure there, traders trying to trade that up. And all of a sudden, as that closes up, the good thing is you've still got plenty of space to the lows there. So, that's a good profitable trade there. You can at least have 4 points at least. Oh Christ, 7 points to the lows, nearly 8 points. That's going to get taken out for a start. So even if you ride it down there, but the trouble is, yeah, I mean, you get 3 points even taking it down to there. When I've taken a trade, I get super protective, which that's what I like that. I don't get, they say sometimes winning trades can get you, can be as damaging as losing trades because you can get a bit too overconfident. I go the other way. I don't like to take another trade. Now if I was taking a dozen trades a week, in this business, it kind of goes with the territory, but 3 to 4 trades a week, it's working well for me, so I'm not in a mad rush. And especially on a Friday, if I took a trade and lost a trade because I didn't think clearly, it would play on my mind a little bit. Whereas, I mean, I'm up, $3,400. I can go away and enjoy my weekend, and not. It doesn't affect me like it used to, but there's nothing worse. I'd rather lose money, like lose a trade straight off rather than lose after a winning trade. So on that note, I'm going to finish early today. It's Friday. Weather's nice out there. I'm going to go and mow my lawn. So I'm going to have an early weekend. I am done for the week. I've had a good week. Accounts are growing nice. I'm nearly at 42,000 profit there, and I've had the best part of 23,000 out of the accounts in the last few months. So everything's going really well. So I'm going to go and enjoy my weekend. So I will leave you guys to it. I'll be putting a few wallets in the post over the weekend. So there you go. So if you count on trading, good luck. It may not be a bad day today. This thing looks like it's on the way down. Yeah, well, I've got about four made, I think. So I'll do a couple more over the weekend. So look, have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe, and we'll catch up on Monday. Bye for now.